Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel is Making with Marilyn. Now I do all sorts of crafts, but on today's video, I'm going to make a bling shirt for a friend of mine's wife. Now his wife is an elementary school teacher, and so I'm going to put the bling on this black t-shirt. It's a v-neck t-shirt and it's Fruit of the Loom. I got this from the Dollar General store. And then I'm using a file that I designed. And so I'm trying it out for the first time. And basically, it's going to have crayons all the way across it. And then her name will be in the middle. And I made her name with some heat transfer vinyl. So I've been struggling with what colors to use on this. And I think I've finally come to a decision. Now these stones came from the Baby's Booty. The Baby's Booty does a rhinestone buy-in, and she does one almost every month. Now her next buy-in is coming up October 30th, so I'm going to put a link to her website, the store where you can buy these, in the video description. Now the rhinestones that I'm going to use for all the crayons are light cyan, fuchsia, green zircon, violet ice, hyacinth, rose, and blue zircon. And then I have, again, the red cyan up there. Then for the border around the name and then the lines in the crayon, I'm using what's called black diamond. Now, if you get rhinestones from the Baby's Booty, she has these little containers that are called ice chips. And you get 5 ice chips in an ice pick. So this is an ice pick. You choose 5 different colors. Or you can buy the large containers. And then lastly, she has some what she calls treasure troves, and it's usually multiple colors, and they come in medium-sized containers. So depending upon the treasure trove, you might get 4 containers or 3 containers. You just have to kind of look at her store to see what's available. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move these off, but I'm keeping them in order so I don't forget. Now, in the design that I've made, and I'm going to put it in my Etsy store, the crayons are actually here. On this one, since it was my first time, I put the crayon up here. But on the real design, there will be full crayons coming down. And then I think I'll go ahead and do a separate crayon like this. That way, if you have all the crayons together and you want to do a single color, it would make it really easy for those all to be together. But if you want to do a different color for each crayon like I'm going to do, you would have a separate template for that. Now to pick the rhinestones up and put them on the shirt, I have this hot fix tape. And so I've cut some strips for the crayons. And then for the border and the little lines that'll be in the black diamond, I'll pick all those up at one time. Now to brush the rhinestones into place, I have this little brush. This is just a paint trim brush. I'll put a link to this. And then so that I can move stones around, I have this rhinestone pick tool or rhinestone picker tool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the light cyan. Now, if you've been watching videos on this, you know that with your hot fix tape, you get it kind of close to your design, have it a little bit in a U shape or a taco shape. Once you start going down onto the stones with this, you just have to commit. All right, so that was pretty easy. Sometimes I have issues with it and I have to kind of push stones into place, and then sometimes I don't. As I've done more and more of these, I've gotten a little bit better. I still make mistakes, but I have gotten a little better. Now I'm going to watch and see if any of these don't pick up, because if they don't, I'll lay this tape back down, rub on it, and pick it up again. And then for now, I'm just going to lay this back down on its backing. All right, so that you see the process of brushing those in, I'm going to go ahead and use the black diamond and put it in all the little lines. They're going to fill in here. And then the frame that goes around the name. Now I do want to put a little bit more tape on this since I'm using a glitter cardstock. It doesn't have a sticky back like the real flock does. The real flock simplifies your life, but this is the first time I've used this template, so I'm going to start with some glitter cardstock. Now, one of the major problems with using cardstock is if it lifts up, your stones go under it. Again, it's not sticky, so it's not nearly as easy or convenient to use as the real stuff. All right, so you just dump some on, use your circular motions. As you do that, they kind of bump into each other and they fall down into place. Now I went ahead and made this part all together so that I would know where to lay down my stones once I start putting the colors on. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's just wipe off the excess stones from that row. Now I can see that I have some extra stones that kind of get caught on the top. And then I have a couple of holes. So for the holes, I'm going to take my little rhinestone picker tool and I'm going to find extra rhinestones and just move those to fill the holes. Now because my glitter cardstock is black and these black diamond stones are dark, it's a little bit hard to see. All right, let's go ahead and start on the frame. I would prefer to put a little more tape down, but again, I ran out, so I'm getting by with what I have. So this is the process that I'm going to use on this entire layer. So let's go ahead and speed this up. Now I think I'm done, but I want to really inspect this, make sure I don't have any upside down or I don't have any extras. And I already see an extra right here. And then a couple up here, but I think that's it. Now this piece is much larger, so it's a little bit more difficult. But once again, I'm going to have this a little bit in a U shape. I'm barely holding on at the sides. And then I just have to do one swift motion downward. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I see that a couple popped out up here. So I'm just going to use my fingernails, pop those back down into place. Then just like last time, I'm going to start peeling this back, watching to make sure that all the stones come up. Now with this being such a big design, I like to just keep pulling on it and let it lay on its backside. And I see I have one extra stone that I didn't notice. But that's okay, it comes off easily. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this in just a minute, but you can go ahead and put this back down. Oops. You can go ahead and put it back down on its backing. And when you do that, for me, it's easy to see if they're out of place. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and preheat my shirt. Then I'm going to lay the HTV down first, and I'll have to know where the rest of this design is to place it. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera over to the heat press so you can see it. Now I went ahead and preheated my shirt, and I used a lint roller on it. So I'm going to set the name under my template. And I know that my crayon design goes about an inch, maybe slightly more, above this top row. So I'll just keep that in mind. Now this heat transfer vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and do it at 300 degrees for 12 seconds. Now this is a Hippo brand. It's called Angie Easy HTV, and this has become kind of my go-to HTV. It is a cool peel though, so I do need to let that cool off before I pull that backing off. Otherwise, I could stretch my HTV. If you're mixing HTV and rhinestones, you really should put your HTV down first because it's not as tall or it's not as thick. In other words, if I had rhinestones down first, it'd be hard for the press to put good pressure against this. Now I'm going to go ahead and just leave this down for about 5 seconds. Now the rhinestones go on at 350, so I need to increase my heat. Now my main concern is this HTV was a cold peel, so I don't know what's going to happen when I peel this off. All right, I could see that cold peel starting to stretch. So if you do a rhinestone and an HTV design, I would make sure you're using a hot peel, not a cold peel for your HTV. All right, let's try this again. Now that worked out okay, but I'm stuck with this cold peel HTV, so I'm going to go ahead and cut a strip of the Teflon sheet to protect that. So I'll press these four for 12 seconds at 350, then I have 3 more layers to put down. I can't wait to see the final result. Now with these rhinestones, you can pull this backing off immediately. what I meant is you can pull that hot fix tape off immediately, and then I'm going to put it right back down on its backing so I can reuse it. I am loving this shirt. Look at that so far. Oh my goodness. Now notice by having all of the black diamond ones on, it helps you line these crayons up. All right, let's go ahead and take these off. Y'all, this came out even more beautiful than I had imagined. So when I designed this, I had a different color in each crayon on the design. But on the computer, they're just flat colors. When you add the rhinestones to it, it is magical. So, so pretty. Now let me go through these colors one more time. All right, I don't have the light cyan over here, but it's light cyan, then rose, blue zircon, hyacinth, violet ice, green zircon, and fuchsia. Now, I would love to have this shirt myself. I work at a high school, but I think I could pull it off. But I think I might like it without the name in the middle. So I'm going to put on my Etsy shop this design as well as the design of crayons without the name in the middle. If you're interested in checking that out, I will put a link to that in the video description. And then remember, the Baby's Booties buy-in starts October 30th. So I'll put a link to her store in the video description as well. So thanks so much for joining me for this video. I love how this turned out. I hope you do too. And until my next video, bye-bye.